Okay, so the fifth question was, let me quote, what is the key difference between how indigenous Britons and people from the Indian subcontinent define themselves? Question mark. Why Northern I- why is Northern Ireland mentioned at 10 minutes? I made a slight mistake there. Okay, so Tariq Madood basically is saying that a lot of white indigenous Britons, they define themselves as I don't know, male, female, having this job, that kind of job. You know, they define themselves in terms of status, social class, uh, their broad culture. I don't know what kind of food they like, what team they support, if they like football, that kind of thing. He doesn't give all these details, but this is broadly what he means. Now, as opposed to that, in the Indian subcontinent, people tend to define themselves in more strictly ethnic, religious, and also caste terms. Keep in mind that caste society is still pretty strong in India, although it's not officially recognized by the Indian constitution. So people will refer to themselves as Punjabi, as Sikh, as Muslim, as Hindu, as being from Delhi, or being from Mumbai, or as being from I don't know, from Gujarat, right, which is a state in India. In other words, they will define themselves more in ethnic terms, and in this in this ethnic uh, category, which is very much an umbrella term, right, which includes plenty of things. Religion is at the heart of this, right? So whether you are a Hindu, a Muslim, a Sikh, or maybe a Buddhist, or a Christian, or a Jew, there are a few Jews in India. This is really at the heart of people's identity, and not so in Britain. The parallel that he makes with Northern Ireland is that in Northern Ireland, which is not a society I know very well, but Northern Ireland belongs to the UK. It's not part of Britain, but it belongs to the UK. But because of the problems that problems of political violence that existed between, say, the end of the 1960s up until the end of the 1990s in Northern Ireland, plenty of people in Northern Ireland that define themselves in religious terms. In other words, they would say, I'm a Catholic or I'm a Protestant. A lot of these people, they don't actually, they're not necessarily very devout people. You know, they don't go to church every day. I'm not being hypocritical. I'm not being critical of their hypocrisy or anything. I'm not saying they are hypocritical. They say they are Catholic, but they don't go to church. It's not that at all. I'm only saying that people believe that their religious identity is really at the heart of who they are. They define themselves primarily as Catholic or as Protestant. And this is a major difference between people in Northern Ireland and people in Britain. So Maudud is saying, if you look at the people in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in some way, there is a parallel to be made with Northern Ireland because ethnic identity, and in particular religious identity, is so important. This is what he means. And I think that that question is an important question.